Good morning, friends. Welcome back to this very interesting, very impactful series that is the most expected questions for 2026 UPSC main examination of civil services for the optional of anthropology. This is the third topic that we are discussing in this series, and I am pretty much sure that you have gone through the earlier two videos, and also you might have tried attempting the question and got it evaluated on our portal instantly. Now, taking forward from here, as I had announced at the end of the second video, I am taking up this topic, that is Anthropology Beyond Postmodernism. Now, you must be wondering that the syllabus of anthropological thought in the UPSC Anthropology paper ends at postmodern. Now, I am giving you a question beyond postmodern. You must be wondering why. This is because that is how UPSC has been asking questions, the very contemporary, the very application based. So, if postmodern was the last area that was there in your syllabus, we are supposed to not only understand the core of the thought of postmodern, but also we will have to see a critical analysis of it, what are the positives, negatives, etc., and what is the aftermath of the subject once it was exposed to postmodern. Okay, now let us explore some of the questions that can be asked from this particular topic. I have brought here for you two questions. Postmodernism challenged the foundations of anthropology. Postmodernism challenged the foundations of anthropology. Discuss the developments of anthropology beyond the postmodern turn. So, this is nothing but the topic that we are talking about. Secondly, there is another question, an extension of it. Anthropology after postmodernism has moved towards reflexivity, engagement, and new forms of knowledge production. Examine. Now, keeping these two questions in view, we are trying to take you forth. Those of you who have studied anthropological thought completely and concluded with postmodern, you must be knowing this. This is that phase of anthropological theory wherein we see the confusion in the discipline, meaning what is anthropology to do and how it has to study, whom it has to study, why it has to study, and how exactly conclusions have to be drawn, what kind of research methodologies have to be incorporated. These are all the plethora of questions that were raised as a part of postmodern. Now, you will have to understand this. I am trying to bring the entire postmodern into one or two basic ideas. One is postmodern challenged the level of rationality the anthropological thinker, anthropological researcher has, meaning it has first challenged the objectivity of anthropologists, meaning absolute objectivity is not possible because anthropologist comes from his own background. He reflects his society, his culture, and various other power, economic, political relations. So, he is not somebody who is rather neutral, and he reflects his own background. So, he comes naturally with certain biases. That is where postmodern challenged the objectivity of anthropologists as a neutral observer. Okay. Secondly, it has actually questioned if anthropologists are studying culture and societies, the question raised by postmodernists who gave authority to these anthropologists to study them. Very interesting, right? Thirdly, the narratives, meaning the kind of ethnographical, ethnological information that is generated by anthropologists, that is challenged, and postmodernists try to do this work of writing, generating commentaries on the already existing ethnographs. This was a major task that they had given it to themselves, in the sense that these people had criticized the way fieldworks are conducted, the way the narratives are built. So, in a nutshell, fieldwork was discouraged, writing new ethnographs were discouraged. That is where a major question came to the anthropologists: what is the role they have in the society, and why, how they have to study culture. So this is a very gloomy phase. If we leave the students with postmodern just like this, your confidence in the subject might totally be shattered. That is the reason why we have to see that what is happening in the contemporary anthropology. As you all must be knowing this, your teachers must have taught you this, you must have read this, that in the process of emergence of new thought processes, it doesn't mean that every segment of the society or every segment of the discipline will move on to the next phase. It's that a few people might have moved to postmodern, but it doesn't mean that the entire subject has moved. Nevertheless, postmodern has given new challenge to the anthropologists so that they could correct the way they were studying, the way they were doing research, the way they were reflecting on the other cultures. So we see that postmodern has taken the discipline of anthropology to excessive relativism. Secondly, it has significantly reduced the role a fieldwork has in the strengthening of the subject. And thirdly, it saw the need of engagement of anthropologists. What you have to understand in this question is, we will have to know what are the critical points, what are the lacunae, gray areas of postmodernism. It is true that absolute rationality is not possible. Relativism has to be tried. Our effort to understand the others at any point of time is not complete. It doesn't mean that we would stop making an effort. Now, because of the challenges presented by postmodernism against anthropology, it started to reinvent the new methodologies, new ways of doing research, so that our rationality can be increased, our relativism can be bettered. Now, you should also keep in mind this particular aspect, that this discipline never claimed itself to be a science, but it always made efforts to use better scientific ways of understanding the one that is not an absolutely rational entity, that is nothing but the humans. Now, keeping these things in view, what now we are trying to look at is what is happening in the subject after postmodern. I am trying to sum up in 4 or 5 major areas. Firstly, reflexive anthropology has become the mainstay. By reflexive anthropology, we mean that anthropologists should be trying to examine the societies they are studying from different perspectives. It is not only theirs, but the others' perspective also. And they should be studying the already written ethnographs from this reflexive perspective, meaning trying to read between the lines. What is not written is more important than what is actually presented. That is something that is a major given of postmodern school. Secondly, trying to collaborate with indigenous societies. So that is where we see emergence of collaborative and indigenous anthropology. Huge lot of areas are coming up today. Indian anthropology today, we see the emergence of huge lot of topics of conflict and disturbance, such as the PISA Act, Forest Rights Act, and self-representation of different communities. These all have become the subject matter in the postmodern anthropology. And then what is very, very important for us is anthropology of globalization. Here the students have to also remember certain names about whom, their works, etc. you are supposed to prepare for better performance in your exam. For example, you can expect this question, Arjun Appadure. If you could recall, this was already a question that was asked, Arjun Appadure's contributions. Now, in this context, anthropology of globalization, that was his mainstay. And you can also expect questions like transnationalism, transactionalism. See, transactionalism was there in the previous syllabus of anthropology, which no more is categorically there. But one can actually get into these realms also to understand the contemporary anthropology. And fourthly, digital anthropology or visual anthropology, partly visual ethnography, etc. This is also something that has been revolutionizing anthropology in data collection, data analysis, etc. And then you have engaged and public anthropology. This is where anthropologists are trying to play a better role in public policy, development activities, human rights, climate related issues, etc. Now you can understand this. Anthropologists are going beyond what was traditionally thought to be their subject matter, and remember, this kind of revolutionizing subject matter research methodologies, that was possible because of the criticism that was raised by postmodern against this particular discipline. Now, in a nutshell, for your answer in UPSC, that is postmodern, I am trying to bring three major things here. One is the introduction, second one is what should form your body, and the conclusion. So, when it comes to the introduction, we are not trying to define postmodern, but we are trying to present the situation, how it has created a critical turning point in anthropology by questioning its objectivity, representation and authority. So, that is where context you have to try to bring, not the definition. Secondly, there are several sub points you will have to write. What are the limitations, what are the contributions, and hence what is there beyond anthropology, beyond postmodernism in anthropology, and hence of course the conclusion there. In the conclusion, you have to bring in how postmodern has brought huge change in the original mission of anthropology, but then you see the overall goal, overall purpose of anthropology did not change. That is, it is a subject still aiming to understand the others and trying to understand ourselves in a better manner. How beautiful, right? Now don't just relax here, pick up this question, see what you have understood, present your answer and try to get it evaluated on Sosin Academy's website and see what kind of reviews you would get for the better performance in your exam. So, there I end this topic. I would be looking forward to see your script many more than what several of you are writing, and I wish you all the very best for the upcoming main examination. It is very close by, and if anybody would want to get in touch personally and get their questions, queries resolved, you're most welcome to get in touch with us. Have a great time. Thank you.